Ascension. Don't ever wonder on WSAN Radio. It is almost 59 minutes after the hour. It is 70 degrees here. Who would have thought 70 degrees on the second day of freaking January? It's time to be outside barbecuing and stuff now. We're supposed to be right about now, but that's not happening. Let me go ahead and make sure that we got everything going on right here. Because I got my girl Sarah. She just laughing at me. I'm doing some crazy stuff over here. And y'all can't see what I'm doing, but she can. She can. It is 50 minutes, 59 minutes after the hour. So we're going to tune in a little early to the chef because she's here and I just can't wait. Let me make sure I cut up the right volume. Are you there, Sarah?
Yes, good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Wow. How long has it been?
I'd say like maybe a few months.
A few months? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And I was telling everybody, I got a friend of mine that has a food truck now, and we were out somewhere. I think I was at Horizon and more. And I was like, man, you become big time now. I remember I used to get my food free and now I got to pay for it.
When you have a business, you got to charge people now.
No, but I told him, I said, I used to taste sample for you all the time. He said the samples are over with. I said, okay, I do it like that, but I do support my black business and stuff and restaurants and everything. So I do that. I mess with people for the fun. Like I was messing with you before. I don't know if you was listening earlier, but girl, I was tearing you a new one. I said, Sarah haven't gave me a free 10 meals yet.
Dag it. You got to remind me. My schedule is so busy. Like you have to remind me. I have people who want stuff all the time.
I know I'm just messing with you. But I do want to sample one of your meals one day so I could brag about it.
Yeah,
I hear other people talking about it. So I'm taking the word for it that you have some great food and the stuff that you prepare. So you still doing the meal prep and all that good stuff?
I am. I am still doing meal prep. I just came out with January's menu. I know you guys got a copy of it, but I've been busy these last couple months doing caterings. So towards the end of the year, I was doing caterings. I did two of them on the same day on December 9th, which was a very crazy day, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so just trying to squeeze in as many events as I can.
Okay. So your specialty I'm looking at right now, you got a lot of spinach stuff going on. But
I do.
what is it with this spinach with Alfredo sauce on it? And yeah, I love it, but Alfredo, I say Alfredo sauce. It's probably not. I probably said it wrong.
Are you talking about the chicken lasagna rolls?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God. I love those. So I was working with this recipe for a while. Um, and I got just the texture just right. So it's rotisserie chicken that I hand pull it, and then I mix that in with cheese and spinach, and then I roll those up inside lasagna pasta noodles, and then I sprinkle Alfredo sauce and mozzarella cheese on top, and then I bake it.
Wow. That's a meal. You don't need nothing else with that.
No, it's an all in one.
Yeah, you got your vegetables in there, you got your protein in there.
Yes.
So everything's in there. All you need is a good glass of wine to go with it.
A glass of white wine, yeah, like a Chardonnay.
Yeah, look, you went like this. Yeah, let's not get it twisted, Ron.
Like just the wine, just a little bit.
Yeah. So, question for you. I have some questions for you that people chimed in. They always chime in after the show is over, then they get brave, want to ask questions. And I left everything open. Let me see if anybody texts. I said if you want to ask any questions, please text. And let me see. See, they're not that brave. They're not there. But some of the question was asked, do you prepare food if somebody's a diabetic?
Yes, I have clients who are diabetics. I have some who are on a strict macro count. I have some who are keto. I have some who are vegetarian. I do all of my meal prep specialized towards the customer and what their needs are.
Okay, I'm curious about. I've been hearing about the keto. Can you tell me what goes into the I guess the keto diet or what that consists of?
So keto mostly means when the body goes into ketosis, which helps you lose weight. So it's pretty much just no carbs, no carbs, cheese. Well, they do have cheese and then they do have meat, but it's pretty much just depriving your body of carbs so that your body is feeding off of the energy from the protein.
Oh, so describe to everybody exactly what carbs are if they don't know.
So carbs are anything that are going to be like grains, potatoes, chips, breads. Some vegetables have carbs, some fruits have carbs, like apples, broccoli, everything. Like a lot of things have carbs in them. So you just want to make sure you stay away from those. So broccoli is really good. It does have some carbs, but they're low carbs. But cauliflower is more preferred because it's zero carbs.
Now, on some of your food me, for instance, I love to have my food on the grill, and I use absolutely zero salt when I cook. I use the spices for that. But one thing I like doing is put my broccoli on the grill.
Mm.
It gives it a nice taste, and I always loved it and everything. So is grilling an alternative to frying and all the other type of stuff that you like?
So I do like to grill. However, in Texas, with the weather fluctuation, I usually have a Ninja grill inside of the house. And that's usually how I grill all of my meats and everything like that. When it comes to my vegetables, I actually like them roasted. I put some olive oil on it with like, some salt and pepper, in your case, Mrs. Dash. And then I just roast it off, and it's just really, really good. It's super quick and easy, and then it has like that nice char flavor on it. So vegetable grilling is a really good way to do your vegetables. For me, since it's usually just like me and my daughter, then I usually just cook it in the oven.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that cooking for not 20, but for two.
Right. You're right.
There was somebody that brought something out on Facebook. It must have been about 2 weeks ago, showing you because most time when people cook for two, they seem to overcook, and
They do.
they seem to throw away what they don't eat after a couple of days. But somebody put something on Facebook. I forget what it was. I got it and shared it where they cut it in half, the recipe in half on how you could cook just for that. And I thought that was the neatest thing that I've seen because you just admit it. Any recipes out there is for feeding the family. You
It
know,
is.
you get it. It's a family recipe. It's not just individual recipe. It's a family recipe, and you find yourself wasting food, and that's the worst thing you could do is waste food like that.
So what I do, since it's just the two of us, I usually just make enough for like maybe 4 servings in case we want to have leftovers. And then it's easier the next day. I just don't have to cook anything. But I am working on a project right now for to fix that solution for overcooking.
Yeah,
Because being prior military and being in the food and beverage industry for 20 years, everything's just mass production and high quantity. So then, as myself, when I became a mom, I was like, I have to downsize this. But a good rule of thumb is like whatever the recipe is, if it says the serving is like 6 or whatever, just cut everything in half.
yeah,
Because I hate wasting food. It's so bad.
yeah. Like the other night, my wife made some homemade chicken tortilla soup, and
Mm.
she made a lot of it. So we ate yesterday, and we ate, and we looked at it, and we looked at each other, and we said, "Wow, we got enough for today for lunch." So
Right.
so sometimes home cooking food is so, and I sort of didn't get on the case because I said, "Please don't put no salt in it," because last time she did, and it was a little bit too much. And this time around, I don't think she put any salt in it because I said, let the let all the ingredients you put in there add to it. If you want to add salt to it, you can. Because when I cook without salt. But if anybody want to add salt to it afterward, that's fine. Because
Right.
I know my sodium and I can't have that. I'll swell up like a you know what. And I stay away, which I've been really behaving and staying away from salt because I talked to somebody a while back, must a couple years ago. They said, Ron, do you know the spices that you put in there to enhance the food? That'll take that salt away. You won't need it. You won't even notice that you're missing it. And they're
Correct.
kidding. So when I use a great big thing of my seasoning, when I get finished, I keep that. And what I do, I make my own seasoning, mix it in there like I make my own chili mix, my own taco mix from the spice and stuff without going to the store buying it, because that stuff is loaded with sodium.
Yes, everything, most prepackaged seasonings that you're going to have, they have a very high sodium content because for some reason everyone thinks that if you put a lot of salt in it, then it'll bring out the flavor. But if you have really good ingredients to start off with and really fresh peppers and everything that adds the flavor and onions, you really won't miss that salt. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this in the last interview, but when I cooked for my personal trainer, when he was doing competitions and shows and all that other stuff, there was absolutely no salt. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, well, how can, I still give it some flavor? And you're absolutely correct by using spices and the different flavors. But I like Mrs. Dash. Mrs. Dash has a line of, they should totally, be sponsoring me, but they have a whole line of different flavors with no sodium, and it tastes really, really good. I was actually impressed. I used it for his ground turkey meals. And
Oh,
and I was like, this ain't gonna taste like anything. It ain't got no salt in it. There's no flavor. And then I used the Mrs. Dash and a little bit of turmeric and curry powder. And it actually came out really, really good.
yeah, I sort of slid that in. She's probably listened to the show anyway, my wife. I slid turkey meat on, started doing chili, and I
Yeah.
and I use a turkey sausage with it. And I didn't say anything for the first couple years, and didn't notice. But I made a mistake, and she seen the wrapper of turkey meat. You put turkey in here? Yes,
Yeah,
I.
I've been cooking with turkey for probably like the last 4 or 5 years. Like we don't eat any ground beef or ground pork or anything like that. The only time I probably use ground pork is if I'm gonna make meatballs or if I'm making zuppa toscana, which is always my favorite go-to soup.
Yeah, yeah, I like that soup too. So, is it harder? Since you brought that up about turkey meat, it's a lean meat,
It's very lean.
and you find out when you use it, they got different. What's that? The proportions of it. I found out the leaner part is a little bit too lean when I cooked with it. I gotta go to I can't think of the name. Was it 60/80 or 20/80 or something like that? Uh,
Well, I know what you mean, like the proportion of fat to meat. And fat is flavor, and with turkey, you're gonna need a little bit of fat in order to give it that bite and that mouth feel that you want.
yeah,
Um, Now, when I was cooking for my personal trainer, Kevin, like I was saying, he needed the 93.7, which is very lean. It's just straight meat.
yeah,
And it's fine, but I feel like it could get really dry.
exactly.
So I would definitely like to go with the 80/20. Um, but I don't think I would go any more than that because you don't want to have a lot of fat, but you definitely need that moisture for your palate.
Yeah, I did find it out. I did some turkey burgers one time with that 93.7. It was just dry.
Yeah, do they fall apart a little bit?
A little bit. No, a lot of it.
You got to use egg as a
Yeah,
binder.
I know. I used to do that with the ground meat eggs, and I would put a couple of teaspoons of flour in there to really get it going. But
Yeah.
yeah, but when I turned around and I discovered the 80/20, I said, that's it. That's it. That's what I need. So that's why I started using is that right. And on the grill is real good and
Yes.
everything. So now switching from turkey meat to seafood. Now,
Ooh. Mhm.
my best one is I like honey glazed salmon.
Ooh, that's good. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I
How do
like
you do your honey glaze?
actually I just get the honey and I add a little seasoning to it and I brush it on the salmon and put it on the grill.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
I use the sweet chili sauce, sweet Thai chili sauce from
Yeah.
Maypoi. I'll bake my salmon, and then when it's coming out or when it's almost done, I'll brush the sweet chili sauce on there, and it actually gives it a really, really good flavor. And it's super quick and easy. And I usually do that if I'm having company over for dinner parties.
Yeah. Well, let me know when you have one so I'll be over and sample your food.
Yeah, sure.
So this is the new year and everybody, I announced it earlier. I said, you're gonna be on a life-changing experience. It's going to last 2 days where you go back to what you said you're not going to do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts when people say they're going to go on a diet? I hate using the word diet because the first word, the letter in there is die.
Yeah.
It's a life-changing experience that you want to do. You want to change your lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle change.
And people want to change their lifestyle, but yet they pulled back to their old style.
Because it's familiar and it's comfortable, and people are used to familiar and what's comfortable with them. And one thing I'm not looking forward to for the new year, new me, is the gyms. Every year at the beginning of the year, when I go to the gym, like I'm a regular, and when I go, it's like all these new people are flooding the gym and using the equipment improperly or whatever like that. But it really is a lifestyle change. I have one of my best friends. He's been plant-based for the last 3 years, and everything's a lifestyle change. You know, the way he eats, the way he shops, the way he consciously buys food. You just really have to want it. So what I tell my customers, my clients, when they want to come on and they're like, oh, well, I want to change, I want to lose weight and everything, I always ask them why. Why did you want to lose weight? Why do you want to change your life? And I feel like if people have a very strong why, they can endure anyhow. So with people who are like, I want to lose weight, you have to remember why. And then it's not just what you eat, it's your lifestyle. And it's like if you eat healthy, but then you drink sodas, or if you eat healthy and you work out, but then like you're allowed to have a cheat day or a cheat meal or something, but you have to just be disciplined. You have to want it bad enough.
Yeah, you're right about that because they can't keep it. I'm sorry. I would say 85% of the people that want to change at the beginning of the year, I give them. I was being sarcastic. I give them 2 days, but I'll give them 30 days before they revert back to where you're at, and then
Oh, yeah.
it then may come around and they ask what happened.
I usually give them till March.
March, okay.
March.
Somebody's asking right here, after fasting all day, what is a good meal to prepare that's filling?
Ooh, after fasting all day, I like my go-to breakfast, which is actually really filling for me, and I found a lot of people liked it. I usually use a cup of brown rice with like a cup of roasted broccoli and then 2 fried eggs on top with a little sprinkle of sesame oil and soy sauce.
Oh,
And
that's
that's it. You get your protein, you get your brown rice, and you get your broccoli. And those it's really filling, super healthy, really quick.
yeah. That sounds good.
It's
Because
it is really good.
I just had a fast a while back because I had my blood test and everything. That's I'm type 2 diabetes, so I
Yeah.
try, I try to stay on top of everything. And they want my A1C down, and it did go down, not as much as I wanted to, but it is going in the right direction. So when I asked about that when I was fasting, I was so hungry, girl. I
I
was
know.
hungry, and I passed up every Burger King, McDonald's to get home. I said, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So my deal is I have that something prepared at the house that I know I'm coming home to, because
Right.
in your mind, you don't want to come home and do all that. You want it done.
Right.
So that's why people swing by fast food places because it's convenient and it's done. So
Or you can just order a meal prep from me and it's super easy and convenient and I deliver and all you have to do is just pop it in the microwave for a couple minutes. That's what I like.
you are good, girl. You are good. You are good. Now, on your menu for January, is that all? That's it for this month of January? Is what you have
No,
on the menu?
no. I still have my regular menu items that are up on my website at chef2tablellc.com. But these are just the specials that I'm running for this month to be included in the bundle package because I have a promotion for this month because it's my birthday month. So I like
Oh,
to
hold it. What day?
the 16th.
Mine's the 21st.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
not you're an what, Aquarius?
yeah. We're good people. We're not Capricorns.
Oh, we're the best. We're the best.
Okay. So, what would an average price be for a week meal prep?
Well, for right now, I have the lowest that I do is 10 meals. So you could do 10 meals, I think, for $150 or 175. I just updated my prices. But 10 meals is either you could do either breakfast and lunch, breakfast and dinner, whichever you want. And then I just for this month there's free delivery.
Okay.
So if you order the food and I can deliver it for like $150. Let me pull it up right now. I don't have my prices on me. But with the cost of food, especially
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I had to increase the prices. But for the most part, everything is pretty reasonable. If you want to do the 10 meals or the 15 meals, let me look at the. Yeah, so I have a bundle one meal, which is the 10 meals with the two different meal options for 175, and then I have the bundle two, which is 15 meals with three different meal options for 250.
Okay.
Now with yeah.
So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, that's either, well, you could do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or you could do the 20 meals with the four different meal options, and you could switch them out any whichever ones you want amongst the options that I have on my website, or you can do some of the menus ops or some of the meals off of the January menu. So you get like four different options. So you don't get stagnant. You're not like, oh, I'm eating the same thing. Because I have people who want to lose weight, but they're like, I'm just tired of eating brown rice and broccoli and chicken breast. So then I have other options on there. So it makes you and encourages you to stick with your goals and stick with your weight loss. And then it's not like, oh, I'm eating the same thing all the time. No, there's different options. And I have a plethora of different options on there that we can talk about and sit around and discuss. But a lot of my clients, what they just like the convenience of it. They like that, they can, if they can't eat it that week, some of them they'll freeze it and then they'll
Yeah.
take it down and then, they'll microwave it in 3 minutes in the microwave and that's all it takes. And it's low calorie. Everything is fresh. I don't buy anything until they order it. And then when they pay for it, then I go to the store and I make it and I deliver. So there's none of that stuff that they put in your fast food. There's not all those byproducts or
Yes.
just bad, just horrible.
Yeah. So when you go out and you prepare, well, you go out and you go out and go grocery shopping, I should say. Are you organic all the way or what?
Um, so I've noticed that some of the organic food is not really organic. They just kind of like slap that label on there for a higher price point or whatever like that. I buy fresh. I buy fresh and I buy sustainable. So I like to go to like HEB or something, depending on what it is that I need. But nothing is frozen or processed or anything. And then with me, it depends on what it is. Now, with my grains, I do like to go organic. With my fruit and vegetables, you really can't taste the difference. And then it usually they're grown on the same farm.
Yeah.
So, but I just buy fresh.
What about when summertime come around? Do you go to some of the farmer markets?
Mm. I love the farmers markets. This year, what I wanted to do was to work with a couple farmers so that we could have constant fruits and vegetables in rotation so that we can have a better deal so it's helping them out, it's helping me out. And then I'm sharing that with my clients because they're getting fresh local farm food at a really good price. And it's better when you buy in season because you get a better price and a better product because everything is at its peak flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do the same thing too. When farmer markets, I try to go out and buy stuff fresh from them and everything.
Yes.
I was not an asparagus person years ago. I could not, I don't know if I couldn't stand asparagus or my palate wasn't ready for it. But one time I was at a restaurant and I'm real picky at a restaurant. I said, is it sauce? Is this, is that? So I said, can you grill the asparagus? That came with, there wasn't no substitution. So I had no choice. They grilled it. That was it.
It's so good. I love asparagus. Asparagus grilled is really good. But I roast it. Like
Yeah.
most of my vegetables, I just roast them. It's easier. It's faster and it has a better flavor. Like when I use the Ninja grill, It has a really good flavor and it cooks really quickly.
Yeah, yeah, we got a Ninja grill. I fell in love with that. But
Yeah, it makes it so much easier.
when I started doing the chicken flats in there, that was it. We don't fry chicken anymore.
Mm-mm. Nope.
It gives a unique taste and stuff. So I love using that. And there, of course, I love my smoker. I got a pellet grill and I got a big old smoker in the backyard. So it depends on what I'm doing. If it's just me and my wife, it goes on that pellet grill.
Right. My dad for Thanksgiving, he spatchcocked and smoked a turkey, and it was so good. Just smoked meats and everything. So he's smoking ribs and briskets, and
Yeah,
it I definitely highly recommend a smoker for people who are serious about their meats, you know.
yeah.
It
It's
just has a better flavor.
and it takes time. You got to be patient.
It
You
does.
you cannot rush it.
I
And
think he was up at 2 in the morning doing that turkey.
I do the same thing. I tell them I feel them. I feel them. I do the same thing. Or when I do a brisket, I'll put it on like at 11 at night.
Hmm.
I let it cook all night. I'll go out there and I'll wake up 2 o'clock for make sure the wood is on there and everything. Then the next day is cooking there. Anywhere between 16 and 18 hours, I
Yeah,
smoke my brisket and I take my time. And that's the key with you too. So that's a good segue. You have to take your time and be patient with the food that you're preparing for others
you
because
do.
the one ingredient that people forget about, that one last ingredient that goes in there is called love.
Oh, it's love. Yep.
You have to
Yep.
put that in there.
I was talking to somebody the other day and they were saying how they went to this restaurant and they were like, they just don't, it's just food. I'm like, hey, how's the food? They're like, it's just okay. Like it's just okay. And I think I mentioned it this last interview that we had is that you could definitely taste the love or the lack thereof in the food.
Yeah,
And one thing I do, I love what I do. I love to cook. I love to feed people. That's my love language. So I pour my love in there and it's reflective in the flavors and
yeah,
when you go somewhere else who's they're just cooking your food for a check or a clock or to just check their shift off or whatever, you don't taste anything. You taste the commission.
You know what else you taste? I'm gonna tell you what else they taste. Applebee's, Chili's, and the rest of them, they all buy from the same distributor, the same
They do.
the same oil they cook with, they buy everything. So it's no different when you go to each one of those because all of them taste the same.
Right, because there's only like so many food vendors. You have Cisco or USA or US Foods or a couple other ones or maybe some small ones, but they're all the same. They get it all from the same warehouse. And then if you look at it, a lot of these restaurants, the soups and stuff, they all come frozen in a bag and then they just put it in a pot and reheat it and give it to you for like $7.
Yeah. See, that's why I said mom and pop places are a place to go to because they season their food, they do everything with love. And I always look for mom and pop places to go to.
Same.
See, just like going out of town. Why are you gonna go out of town and go to Chili's when you got one in your town? Go to new places, explore, and a lot of people won't do that because you know why? Because they're comfortable. They know what they
Right.
get right here. They're comfortable.
Well, they're creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. So anything outside the norm, we're afraid that we might not like it, so we don't want to take that chance. But me, I have a whole list of all these restaurants, all over, not even just in the United States. Like there's some places over in Germany that I want to go to. I've seen like some places on Turkey, in Turkey and Greece. So it's like when I get to those places, I have a list of, hey, this is what I want to do. These are the places I want to go and eat. And that's usually what I do when I go out of town. I try new places or places that I want to try.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I try to my best to try new places and stuff. So somebody say you put love in it, and of course in the Black community, our word is this: man, you put your foot in that.
I put the ankle in there. What you mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. So I remember one restaurant I went to and I tried their meatloaf. I said, let me go ahead and try the meatloaf. Um, I hate to be ugly, but I told the waiter, this is the worst meatloaf I ever tasted. I told him
Hmm.
that, and he just looked at me. I said, I'm serious. this is the worst meatloaf I ever tasted.
What was wrong with it?
The texture, the seasoning, it was just it was. I think Play-Doh tasted better than meatloaf.
Ooh, that's bad.
And I told him that I will express when I'm not happy with it.
Right, yes.
And then I went to one place one time. It was too much corn. Corn. That must have been loaded with a box of salt. I said, this is too salty. And they have the nerves going, I said, I'm not paying for that. They was going to try, I said, I'm not paying for it. I told them that. I'm not paying for it. I'll pay for the other meal. I'm not paying for this corn.
Right.
It's too salty. So one of the smart guys said, you want us to go back there and rinse it off, bring it back to you? I said, you know what? I'm done. So I jumped up, paid my bill, and I left. And I wrote a horrible review. But
yeah, I just when I go out to eat, I like to go to places where I know the food is going to be consistently good.
yeah,
So that's not a lot of places, but I really do like certain places like Papados uh, or something like. Oh, hold on, just my alarm. Papados or places like that, like Babe's Burgers. There's a couple places that I go around town if I'm really wanting like that quick fix. Like if I want a burger, I'm not going to go to McDonald's or Burger King or anything like that. No, I'm going to go to like Babe's Old Fashioned Burgers and get their food and stuff. Or if I want seafood, I'm going to go to Papa Joe's or I'm going to spend the money because I know that they care and I know that the quality is worth it.
like when I go to your place, Papados, I am a theme for blackened catfish and red beans and rice.
Yes, really, really good.
Yeah, I went to a couple places and ordered the same thing. It didn't come close to it.
Mm-mm.
So
I like their red snapper. They used to have like I don't know if they still have it, but their Pontchartrain. I think it was like the red snapper with like the crawfish tails on the
yeah.
top with like this really good sauce. Oh, it's so delicious.
See, here us talking about you a chef. So walk us through. New client come to see you. Walk us through where the questions you would ask that client. Basically, why? I guess
Okay.
be just walk through with you. I'm a new client and I'm telling you I want to try some of your food, and the reason why is I'm gonna say I'm a diabetic and I want to lose some weight. How do you come back and tell me professionally without biting my head off, you eating that food, or me, what would you go through the proper steps?
Well, the first thing I ask you is if you have any food allergies. Is there any food allergies that I need to know so that I can make sure that, I don't accidentally kill you on my way to feeding you? And then I want to make sure that if you want to lose weight, like I said, eating is fine, but it goes hand in hand with exercising. So I would ask you if you're exercising. Now, if you say I do exercise, and I do this and this and this, then that allows me to be like, okay, well, they're doing weightlifting, so obviously they're probably going to need more protein. So then I adjust your meal plan to include more protein. And if you're trying to lose weight, then I eliminate the carbs, but I keep just enough in there to sustain, like mainly broccoli or asparagus or some kind of kale or some type of green, and then some fruit. But I try to keep the low sugars. So obviously, if you're trying to lose weight and you're a diabetic, so the almost no carbs because it all gets converted to sugar, which is going to drive up your A1C. So then I'd be like, well, how many meals do you want? And then you'd be like, oh, well, 10, 15, or 20 meals or whatever. And then I'd be like, okay, what kind of foods do you like to eat? Do you prefer where you don't like to eat? And then once they tell me what they like or what they don't like, then I base a meal plan off of that. And then I go ahead and submit it for their approval. And then once they approve it, and once they pay me, then I go ahead and cook it. And then I'd set up a delivery time. But it's usually within like 24 hours.
Wow, that quick, huh?
Really, really, really quick.
Okay, so turnaround time. So that's going to answer a lot of people's questions. Um, I don't know. It was you that I talked to. I can't even remember. Um, they were saying that you should eat your vegetables first, your green vegetables first, because if you're diabetic, that'll stop the other food from absorbing real quick in your system. Does that make any sense?
That is a good rule of thumb. I usually always eat my vegetables first because if I'm going to fill up, I'm going to fill up on the good stuff first, the good stuff that's good for you. So I usually eat my vegetables and then my protein. And then if I have some room for my carbs, like brown rice or something or quinoa, then I'll eat that last. But I mean, it all works together, to be absorbed in the stream. I'm not really a scientist to know if, if it works like that, but that's just how I would normally eat. I always tell my clients, I'm like, fill up on the good stuff first, like fill up on your fruits and your vegetables and then your protein and then carbs for last.
Uh, Me myself personally, I cannot eat raw fruit because of the acid. I get
Mm.
what's the word? I get nauseated. I'm ready to throw it up. But when I was growing up as a kid, we had apple trees, pear. I used to eat it right off all that. Somewhere along the line, getting older, my body said, no, no more. And so I can't afford to eat it processed because they put too much stuff in it.
Do you
So
try juicing?
yes, that's very bad for me too.
Oh,
It just don't like, I don't know what it is. But if I go and prepare it, and if I cook it or bake it, whatever, the way I do it, once it's processed like that, the way I do it is fine.
right.
But raw by itself, oh, I just, I don't know. I can't do it anymore. So,
I I used to eat like a lot of different types of fruits, and then as I've gotten older, certain things, I don't know if I've become allergic or whatever, but I have a reaction to it. Like I used to eat apples, but the apple skins, they make my throat itch. And then I like watermelon or pears or kiwi, but then it kind of like makes my tongue a little tingly. So what I do is I juice. I like to juice my vegetables and my fruit together and save them in mason jars. So that way when I need, just every day I'll probably go get me like a little cup or something and pour me a glass. So that way I have my servings of fruits and vegetables, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. But if I juice, I drink my juice like an hour before I eat my meal because that way I eat less of my meal and I'm filled up already with the juice from the fruits and the vegetables.
I never tried the combination of fruit and vegetables. Maybe I'll try that
It's really good.
to see what happens. Now, you brought a point about drinking before you eat. I read something a while back where they said you should never drink water while you eating because that'll fill you up too.
It does. It
And
does.
you say you should save it at the end. Yeah, because some
Right after you finish everything so that it just washes down. I feel like for people who want to do fasting, you could do a liquid fast, juicing, water, those are liquid fast. I would encourage those as opposed to just not eating anything at all because your body like my personal trainer when he explains it, your body and your metabolism they're constantly working. So when you eat one big meal, think of your metabolism like a fire. And if you throw one big log on it, it's going to just, like the fire is going to eat up the log and stuff, and then it's going to slowly dwindle down. Whereas opposed if you're throwing wood chips on the fire throughout the day, you're sustaining a consistent level of burn. Your metabolism is consistently burning calories and you're sustaining your energy levels. So that's usually what I think of. I think like every 3 to 4 hours, okay, let me get like a snack in, or let me just pour me a glass of juice or something, or let me, eat some almonds. Just try to maintain it. And that has helped me with my weight loss.
okay, look at you. Um, Apple vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar.
So I hear people take a teaspoon of that or put it in their water.
Yes.
So what is the I don't even know I know the question answer is not coming. What is good in that?
So if you do apple cider vinegar, obviously get the organic apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. I guess it's like the mother fermentation or something like that. But when people do apple cider vinegar, they put like 1 tablespoon and like maybe a cup of water and they mix it. And it's supposed to help with your gut health. And some people will say that it melts fat, melts stomach fat, so it helps you digest and get all of it out. Um, I personally did it before. I didn't really see much of a difference, but I I mean, different strokes for different folks. Me personally, I like lemon water. Throughout the day, I'm usually drinking lemon water. I'll put some slices of lemon in it. And if you're drinking lemon water, it definitely helps aid in the digestion of your food because the acidity in it. So maybe it's the same concept as using the apple cider vinegar. I don't really like the taste of the apple cider vinegar. I feel like it's very acidic and bitter to me, but I like the lemon water. I like that better. So I would do that. But I think it definitely, they both coincide and serve the same purpose.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me see here. Let me see if anybody wrote us anything, because there was one other question somebody asked, and I'll get to you on that one. Other question. Somebody wanted to know on your meal plan, when you do that, if they just order just the same, I think they was doing it for their own deal. If like they order just salmon, just all the time order salmon, will your body come to a point where you know how you reach a plateau of losing weight and you just stop and
You do,
you got to
yes.
change something? Is it mainly the food you need to change or exercise? Well, with your meal prep right there, will you let them know that you can't eat the same thing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? You got to adjust. Am I trying to make that? I'm trying to figure out how
Yes.
to pass
So
this.
you do have to adjust it. Um, and then the thing about it is that when you're eating meat, whether it be fish, chicken, beef, or whatever like that, those that protein has to break down. Red meat takes about 3 to 4 days to break down in your body, and chicken and lean and turkey and fish, it's about a good 1 or 2 days. So if you're eating protein every day, you're not allowing the old protein to digest and get out of your stomach. So it's just sitting in your gut. And if it's sitting in your gut and you just keep adding and adding and adding to it, you're not really going to lose a lot of weight, and you're going to get tired, and you might have some side effects from the meat just sitting there in your stomach, unless you're having some type of diuretic to help you, digest and get rid of it, like some detox. Um, Everybody's going to reach a plateau with their weight loss, because now your body is used to, okay, we're used to this many calories, we're allowed, this many, we work out this much. Now your body gets used to it. So in order to adjust that, maybe you need to do, say if you're weightlifting all the time, but you're not seeing a difference in your diet, your weight loss, then you need to switch it up and do some cardio. Maybe take a week off of weightlifting and just do a week or two of straight cardio. And that's, for me, when I did that, I noticed a big difference, because I was just lifting weights. And then once I switched to cardio, I noticed I was losing a lot more weight quickly because I switched it up. My body's like, oh, we're getting something different. And then I cut my carbs. I cut my carbs um, pretty much to where they're non-existent. And then I was just eating ground turkey and broccoli. I was just eating ground turkey and broccoli, I think, for like 3 days. And then I switched it up. And then I would just have protein shakes and then my vegetable juice. And that helped too. So it's like once your body gets used to a certain thing and you're like, oh, I'm not losing any weight, switch up your exercise, eliminate the carbs, switch it up, try to do plant-based, or just go straight vegetables. And I know it's really hard for people, but everybody has a different body type and they have to do what works for them. So for me, like no carbs and cardio with maybe 3 days of weight training, it helps me get to where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
But
So
you just have to watch your body.
yeah, I want to go and talk about plant-based. I tried it. Ooh,
But
it,
not the plant-based meats. No, don't do the plant-based meats.
okay,
No,
because my palate did not like that.
no. Um, did you try like Beyond Meat?
Yeah, I tried that, and
That needs some seasoning for sure.
that I can't even put into words on how disappointed I was. And it smelled good. Now, why does sometimes food smell so good when you bite into it? It's like, oh,
Yeah, I'm like, this did not taste how it smelled in the
yeah,
kitchen. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't like to buy a lot of those plant-based meats. I will say that the only plant-based meat that I have liked was what was it? I think it was like Morning Star. They're spicy bean burgers. They're
Mm,
spicy black bean burgers. Those are really good. I will put those in the air fryer for like maybe like 5 minutes or something and get that nice crispy outside. And then I'll put it like in a lettuce wrap with like some cabbage or like some kimchi or something. And
yeah.
I eat it. And it's really good. My daughter loves it. She can't even tell the difference. You
Okay.
know, she's fine. But a lot of those plant-based processed meats, they still have a lot of stuff in them that you probably shouldn't be eating.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Because it's plant-based don't mean it's really healthy.
Right, because you have to think about the contents and how they got it to the texture that they got it to, you know, and a lot of the times when you look at it, it's just like, oh, I might as well just eat a real burger.
Right. Just like the medicine they have on TV. It'll do this for you. Then come the disclaimers. May cause stroke, may cause heart,
Right.
may cause suicide tendencies. Oh, well, I'm better off not taking that medicine.
Yeah, I was like, I'm better off just taking my chances.
Yeah. So what are your plans? What are your goals for 2023?
Oh man, I have a lot of goals. So I'm trying to do more caterings, but I think the problem that I'm having right now is staff. I'm having a problem finding staff. And then the person that I did have helping me out, she moved away. So now I have to put up another a job advertising to try to get some staff in so that I can, you know, be able to do all of these events. And I think that right now that's my only challenge, but I definitely want to do more events. I have a cookbook in the works right now, and I'm working with a publisher. And then I have my menus that I got going on for meal prep. But this year, I just really want to be a lot more focused on creating digital content for my business, as well as meal prepping and the events.
Well, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. Whenever you decide to come up with something new, you need a taste tester.
I
I,
got you.
I'm here for you. All you gotta do is, hey, Ron, I'm trying something new. Before I hang up the phone, I'll be knocking at your door.
Okay, look, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm like, hey, I got this plate. You know what I'm saying? You want to come pick it up, or I can drop it off?
Yeah, I'll try it out. Trust me, I will. I did it already with one on food prep, and it was good. And so I'll be your official taste tester.
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, next, don't tease me with a good time. Let me go ahead and uh meal prep and get it out the way. Be like, hey, Ron, I got you a plate. I got the extra plate for you.
And I want your honest opinion. Right.
Yes,
Oh,
always.
and you will get it, because if anybody know me, I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, that's my kind of people right there. I was like, don't try to make me feel good.
Yeah, I was. Oh, it was like I had a friend of mine that made. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna say it. Sandra gonna hear a true story. Um, the guy was barbecuing some ribs and stuff. It was years ago, and he ran out of charcoal, so he only did like 3 or 4 hamburger patties out there. So he decided to cook them inside, and he asked me the most stupidest question: Does these taste like outside? I said no. I said no, they don't taste like it was cooked inside. Why is that? Now, if you really want to fool people, think it was cooked outside, you should put a little bit of liquid smoke in it.
I was just about to say that liquid smoke. When I make my chicken wings in my Ninja Air Grill
Uh-huh.
and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, these wings are so good." I just add a little bit of liquid smoke with some
Yep.
Worcestershire sauce,
Yes.
and it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what, it's a difference. And,
And it is the difference.
and then they start scratching their head. Was this cooked outside or was it inside? They don't know. And sometimes I don't say anything.
No, I'm like,
Yeah,
did you like
yeah,
it?
whatever. It was all right.
Right.
So we're coming to the closing.
Okay.
And what I want you to tell everybody, how they get a hold of you, what they need to do, and how can they order and all that good stuff.
Okay. So I'm on all the platforms. So you can find me on Facebook at Chef to Table LLC. The same name is for Instagram. My website is chef2tablellc.com, and you can look at my menus and my other services that I offer on there. You can contact me on the contact form, which goes directly to my phone so I can see when you're on there and what you need. You can also contact me directly on my business line, and the number is 210-570-7155, and you can shoot me a text or call me. Let me know what you're looking for. Like I said, I customize all my meal plans for each client. If you see something on my website underneath my meal prep tab that you are interested in, just let me know and we can work with it. I also do substitutions. So if you're like, oh, I like this, but I don't like that, okay, I can work with you. So if you hit me up on any of those platforms or on my phone number, I'm real quick and very responsive, so I can just help you with whatever you need. And then you just let me know what your food allergies are, what you're looking for, what your goal is, and most importantly, just be honest. Just be honest with me, be honest with yourself, because I know some people who want to eat better and want to lose weight, or they say they want to lose weight, but then they don't. And and people be like, do you just make healthy food? No, I make regular food too. Like, I have a lot of people who like smothered chicken over some rice with like some green beans with bacon in it, so
Back to that soul food.
right, back to that soul food. Look, got to go back to your roots. But yes, if you reach me on any platform, I'm very responsive and I can help you get to wherever you need. Because I know now that the holiday season and everybody's back on the grind and, back in school and back to work and stuff. And now, they just don't have time and it gets busy, and who wants to work all day and then have to come home and figure out what to feed the kids. So I do individual meals, and then I could also do family bundles too. If you're like, hey, I just need something for, the family for the week, like a casserole or something like that, I could do that as well.
Thank you for. I was going to ask you that question because you're talking about individuals, so you do family meals. That's great. And you
Yes.
and kids meals too.
Yes, I do. I have some clients who are like, well, I eat like this, but my kid eats whatever. And I'm just like, okay, we could just do two different packages, or I could do like,
Right.
your meal and then just do one family style pan for the kids and whatever makes it easier for them. I just want to make eating easier for everybody.
Wow.
I
Well,
know a lot of people who get anxiety when they come to grocery shopping or meal planning because they just don't know what to cook, or they don't know how much to cook.
okay. Now, this is what I want you to do for me.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Do I have to write it down?
No, you don't.
Okay.
I need for you to keep us up to date with your menu and all that type of stuff so we can keep on posting it for you, because I want you to be a successful woman in this industry.
Well, thank you
And,
so much. I appreciate it.
and whatever we could do to help you out, just keep us posted what's going on. And Sandy just posted what position are available so we could give it a shout out. So what are you looking for? Since that person moved away from you, what do you need
Oh,
staff wise?
I'm looking for reliable kitchen staff, but I want them to understand that it's as needed. It's an as needed only position. So I will let them know like a month out so they can tell their employer, or get their plans in order, whatever. I need someone who has um, kitchen experience, knows how to cook, or at least knows how to follow instructions, knows how to take direction, knows their way about, just knows about the kitchen. I don't want anybody who doesn't know how to cook, who has never cooked in their life, because it's just going to be more frustrating and I'm not going to pay for their frustration. I want somebody who knows how to cook food, knows how to take directions, someone who preferably has some food and beverage experience. I'm not looking for a sous chef or an executive chef. A line cook would be just suffice.
Okay.
They
Okay.
can send all their resumes to my email address, which would be chef2tablellc@yahoo.com. And then once I look at the resume, then we can get on the phone for an interview and meet in person, just so I can make sure that everybody's vibing on the same thing and we're all on the same page.
Okay. See, look at you. Look at that little glimmer in your eyes. You so happy over there today. I tell somebody that I could when I interview, I could look at the person and I can see that glimmer in their eyes. And I see it in yours that you are passionate about your job. You
Thank
have that,
you.
you have that passion and that drive. I talked to a friend of mine named Glenn. He said, in order to be successful in any type of business, it's one thing you have to do.
Be
And
passionate about it.
be the passion is one. The other one is show up.
Yes, you do. You have to show up.
That's all you got to do.
Um, I remember years ago, my dad wanted me to like be a lawyer or something like that. He's like, lawyers make a lot of money. They do great, but they're always busy, and most of the time they just really hate their jobs because they have to take it home with them. And then I had a mentor a while back who said, he said, don't follow the money, follow your passion. When you follow your passion, the money will become, because you're manifesting all these great things. You have great energy behind it, and all that positive energy is going to come back, and you're going to be successful. And he didn't lie. He didn't lie at all. So once I followed my passion and what feels good to me on a soul level, I've become more successful and more blessed and abundantly, happy.
I feel you on that because my ladies who helps me out, boy, I love them to death. They are really there for me, helping me out. And when Thanksgiving came around, I said, once Friday, 5 o'clock hit, I don't want to hear from any of you. Now we're just, I don't want to talk business. We're off. That's all there is to it. I do not want
Right.
you to do anything. I don't care how important it is. It's not important in family.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so I let them know that. And so I'm running the station. So if anything happens, I could take it and work with it. I don't want you coming in doing anything, because that's what I want to establish when we get our building. I want to establish you're not here 24 hours a day. You have a life outside here. Enjoy
Right.
life. I'm not going to be the type of boss that da da da. No, I'm not going to do that. Enjoy your
Right.
life. I want them to feel comfortable and happy and want to be able to come to work. Not saying,
Exactly.
oh Lord, I hear so many people saying, oh man, I gotta go to this job. Well, if you don't like it, why show up every day?
Because it pays the bills. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
but there's other things that you could do in life that are happy, that you could be happy about, that pays the bills too. Like, I worked in the food and beverage industry, and my schedule was so sporadic, and I'd have to be up at like maybe 5 in the morning. And then as a single mom, it's kind of hard to schedule, your whole life around, babysitting and childcare and all that other stuff. So then I decided to do something where I could be a better mom and still pay my bills. And that's why I came up with this, chef to table. And it's been really, really good. And God has really, blessed me last year, and he's gonna bless me more abundantly this year. And I just feel it.
Yeah. Like we started at 6 o'clock this morning because people have been listening to the show, and I added an hour. Either it was going to be to 11 o'clock or at 6 o'clock. I chose 6 o'clock, and I'm up at 5 every morning anyway.
Yeah.
So today started the show starting at 6 a.m. in the morning, and from 6 to 10. It wasn't hard at all. I was already up. It wasn't hard to do.
Right.
It's just a little extra hour in there of doing things and preparing, just things like that. I don't want to say this because Sandra listening. So I'm looking at maybe every once in a while, maybe we could do 2 interviews a day, do at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Sandra, don't follow me on this one because she's listening. But it's just the community. I want to make sure things get out to communities. Like I want the word to get out about you, to let you know that there are other choices out there. There are other meal prep businesses out there, and yours is above all of them.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, we were just actually nominated for the San Antonio People's Choice Award. I think I had posted it on Facebook or whatever, but you can get on there every day and vote every day. It was for, I'll share the link again, but
Okay.
it's for the San Antonio Express News, the Reader's Choice Award. Chef to Table was just nominated. So I didn't even know until my friend shot me the text message. She's like, "Hey, did you know your company was nominated?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know."
Wow.
So, but yes, I'll post it on my Chef to Table LLC business page on Facebook too. So if you guys can just get a chance, just shoot me a vote. You could vote every day, but one is just enough. I'm happy with that.
I tell them every time you get up and get on Facebook, every day vote. So
Yes,
that means
because
she should get 7 votes from each person every day. I mean every week.
I would look. I would love it. I'm just thankful and appreciative that I even got nominated.
Yeah. Well,
So
we appreciate you coming on board. We're gonna have
thank
you
you.
again. You stuck with us. We're not going anywhere.
I love it.
So you don't have to worry about anything because I'm looking for when I get to sample some food. Sandra, I'll beat you to it. So you take care. Kiss your lovely daughter, and you're a great mom. And applaud your dad because I know we haven't talked about him, but I know he is behind you 110%. The last time we talked, he did a good job on getting you out there doing the things that you're doing
Well,
right now.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ron. And always a pleasure to be on the show.
Okay, you
I
take.
want you guys, and then when I get those samples for you guys, I'm gonna let you know. You'll be the first one I call. I'll
All right.
make one for you and Sandra. I don't want nobody left
No,
out.
I ain't think about Sandra. All right, you take care, Sarah.
You would have a wonderful week.
All right, you too.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.